Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome. We got some more Lego Marvel superheroes for all of you. This one is going to go ahead and be for level number 5, Rebooted, Resuited. Now this is story mode, so we're just going to be getting through the level. You will notice we are going to be picking up the level-based achievement/trophy called Rebooted, Resuited, very fittingly. And you'll also notice the True Believer is going to be 145,000 studs, and we will get that. But either way, we are going to actually get it started.
Mom's apple pie. We've got to save America from the Red Skull.
Hulk smash skull! Huh? Hulk rip pants.
That's why my red, white, and blue uniform is form-fitting, yet flexible. I love American ingenuity.
I have some tracking to do. I'll keep in touch. Or not.
Tony, let's get you back to Stark Tower and into something, less revealing.
Oh, I have a great new outfit I put together the other day.
We're going to need Iron Man if we want to get those cosmic bricks back. Head over to Stark Tower and...
Alrighty, and here we are, obviously, during that last level, Magneto did strip Iron Man of his, armor, with his magnetic power, so, Iron Man is left, still with his helmet. Don't know how that works, but, he's still got the helmet, and then he is, just got his underpants and a shirt on, but, luckily, he has the underpants, sorry, but anyways, we are out there in, the raft area where we finished off the last level. And we're just gonna hop on this boat here, the ferry. If you remember, we did have to do a little bit of a quest there to get the ferry activated. And yeah, we could just use the elevator now. So, or not the elevator, the ferry. Sorry, I was blanking there, even though I literally just said ferry a moment ago. But anyways, and that's ferry as in a boat, not as in the Tooth Fairy. But I think you figured that out. But either way, maybe you didn't. Anyways, what we're actually going to do is we're going to hop in a car. But while we're in a little bit of downtime, because all we're doing is just following these ghost studs into our location, what I do want to say is, to all of you, we are going to be, I am going to be starting up a bit of a, oh, sorry, not a bit of, I am going to be starting up a Twitch. I did stream the other night, but it was kind of like a really not anything too major. I didn't speak in it or anything, but you know, that is something I am interested in potentially doing, rather than just focusing on the guide videos. We'll also have Twitch as well, and maybe every week or so we're gonna just do some chill streams. We'll talk more about that when we actually do begin to actually stream, if we do. I mean, you can feel free to let me know if you think it's a good idea or if it's not, anything like that. Feel free to let me know. But anyways, here once we arrive at the Stark Tower, we're gonna throw our shield up into that little shield switch, and then we're gonna use Iron Man on this technology terminal, and we've got to press each of the arrow buttons to line up this circuit there, and that'll open the door, and we're gonna head to another cutscene.
Stark Tower dominates the Manhattan skyline as either a highly advanced technological research facility or a giant monument to its owner's ego. Depends who you ask.
Did I ever tell you about my party armor? It was designed like a tuxedo, for more formal battles. Honey, I'm home! What's with the hostile welcome? Jarvis, it's me. Your boss man?
Intruder alert. Security activated.
Intruders? Jarvis, Security Override Command Tango Oscar Sierra 3963.
We're gonna have to fight our way in.
Someone must have hacked my systems. It's the kind of thing I do to other people. What the...
And hey, back to what I was saying with all the Twitch stuff, it is still kind of like a, don't know if we're going to do it, or it'll just kind of be like a, I'm not going to have a schedule for it, or I'm not going to, you know, be too over committed with it. It is kind of on the side. This is obviously the main thing, is the guides here, but something I have kind of been interested in a little bit has been speedrunning games. It's always intrigued me for so long, and I thought I'll give it a go, and I feel like it makes sense to stream it, so feel free to check that out. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna, when I'm gonna stream or whatever, but it is gonna be just something on the side. Obviously, this is the main focus, and then we can just have that chill speedrun stuff. If people want that. If you don't want that, then let me know, and I might not do it, or I might still do it. I don't really know. But anyways, we are here actually in the level inside Stark Tower. We're actually teaming up Captain America and Iron Man. Well, it's just Tony Stark for now, but soon it'll be Iron Man again. Once he gets his suits all figured out. But basically, with this level, Stark Tower, all of Iron Man's, or all of Tony Stark's Iron Man suits have been hijacked by somebody. We don't know who it is yet, but you'll find out. And so what we have to do is we have to reboot the system, as the name of this level so fittingly tells us. We have to reboot and resuit. So pretty smart title there. Anyways, I know we kind of didn't really say what's going on there, but we just had to smash all that stuff in that room, and then we had to use that technology panel to kind of deactivate those laser walls, but then a security breach happened, and then the walls are kind of they're like holographic electric walls. And then I get a little greedy here. I die once from that laser, and then I try to go back and get the studs, thinking that's a good idea, thinking I can survive this time, but no. Tony Stark cannot survive a laser, but luckily Captain America with his shield can brave the laser and use his shield to protect himself, to stay out of the line of fire. And once we've taken out that turret, just deflect the laser straight back at it. Then some buildable parts are going to reveal themselves, so we'll build them up into a technology panel here, which obviously Tony Stark, being the genius he is, the genius billionaire playboy philanthropist, which I think that is actually a name of one of the achievements in this game, or it's like billionaire philanthropist or something. It's for getting 1 billion suds, so that's a cool little reference. But anyways, we actually have to move that drone into that spot there. And that'll actually allow Tony to hop into this suit, which is actually the Mark 1 suit. And if you remember, if you've watched if you've watched Iron Man 1, so the first one, which was the first MCU film, which, by the way, Iron Man 1 still stands as honestly one of my favorite MCU films, period. And it's aged so well. I mean, especially, like, I've watched some of the new films. I gotta tell you, I haven't bothered with a lot of the shows since I watched She-Hulk. I don't know how many have come out since then, but I haven't watched any since that because, goodness, that soured my taste so much. If you haven't checked out the Disney Plus Marvel shows, consider yourself lucky, because they're not very good. Even the recent movies haven't been good. I'd say since Spider-Man Far From Home, which was the one after Endgame. So basically since Endgame, none of the movies have been good at all. Shang-Chi was good, but I honestly think watching that compared to a lot of the old movies, it's not very good. It just looks better because it was released in a time where there were a lot of mediocre Marvel films. Anyways, I know I'm getting a little sidetracked and I should probably talk about the level, but I mean, I feel like with these story levels, I mean, everything is pretty simple with them, especially with a lot of the newer games. I mean, this isn't like a new game. In fact, I think it's like turning 11 this year, which is just crazy. I mean, gosh. To think this is like the Lego game, you know, a lot of kids grow up with. Like, this is the Lego game. To think it's 11 years old, that is just, gosh, that is crazy to even think about. But, you know, pretty straightforward. Some of the older games were a little bit confusing with their story. It doesn't really fully tell you what to do. And that's why I have been kind of like wondering whether I should even bother with story. You know, maybe with the Twitch thing, that's a good thing to like stream, so we can stream the story potentially, just so it's a little bit more chill. Or I don't know. I don't really know how to gauge it, because I still want to make the story videos, and I know it's good for specific help, because then it helps, because the free play, I don't have to focus on it as much. You know, I'm able to speed through some of that stuff, because I mean the free play videos, that's what people are gonna mostly be wanting, you know, is the collectibles. But to set the groundwork, we do the story, and then it also kind of feels like we're actually doing the complete game. Because, you know, especially as well, sometimes during the story we'll get some achievements as well throughout, or we'll get a red brick throughout, and it's like, we want to cover that all. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't really know. That's just kind of my take on it. So I'm going to continue to do story videos. I mean, if there is genuinely, like, I mean, there might be some games where I'm like, okay, we're just going to do the free play for this game. We might have that. You know, so I don't really know. We're going to play it by ear. But I think this is a game that's like, people would want to still see the story, because I mean the story for this game is something that we don't want to just skip over, you know, because a lot of this stuff, what we're doing in free play, we'll probably just speed it up and not really talk about it as much, but you know, here we get to just focus on the story, because man, I tell you what, the story for this game is second to none, honestly. Just getting to play as everyone's like all your favorite superheroes from Marvel, that's something special, you know. But anyways, we're just getting through the level. You can notice a minikit up there. Can't quite get that. There's also a massive floating red head. I always thought that was Red Skull, but it turns out it's actually just Jarvis, who is like the mainframe Iron Man, you know, in his helmet. That's who he's speaking to, which is cool. But yeah, anyways, we got to make that fan there by hanging on that little handheld there, so Iron Man can ride it up, because Iron Man, as much as some of his suits can fly, this suit certainly cannot fly, but luckily it's got all the other goodies. It can shoot rockets there, so that's cool. And yeah, we can blow up that silver panel there, which will destroy that fan below, so we can actually drop down here without being propelled straight back up. And here we go. This is one of the villains of this level, that guy there. He's a pretty interesting fella. He's well, what's his name? Aldrich Killian, I think that's right. He is, yeah, he was one of the, because this is like an Iron Man 3 level, because they've got another villain from that in this level, but like it's kind of the comic book version. Because okay, if you've seen Iron Man 3, you'll know there was the Mandarin, but then there was also Aldrich Killian, who was that guy, and Aldrich Killian was fine. But Mandarin in the Iron Man 3 movie was a bit of a joke, because like in the like the comics, like the Mandarin was this like badass, like magical, you know, dude, and that's who is in this game. But and he's got like these rings, which I think that's what ended up being in Shang-Chi, was those rings, so that was cool. But then in this game, oh sorry, not in this game, in Iron Man 3 the movie, it was just a joke, like it was just some like actor pretending to be the Mandarin, and it was just like, I didn't get the point of it, to be honest. But anyways, we're making our way up that acrobat wall with Captain America. We're pushing that lever, and then below a little silver panel will reveal. We'll blow it up with Iron Man's rockets, and then these two lasers are gonna appear on top there. So you know what we got to do with lasers? We got to use Cap's shield to deflect them. And for a second, I get a little confused here. I'm thinking, okay, we just got to do it like before. We had to deflect the laser back at the origin of the laser, but it turns out you actually have to deflect them at these blue pads kind of next to the laser. So that'll kind of power up the door, and it'll actually open up for us, which is very convenient. So Tony Stark, man, you've got some interesting security measures to make sure people don't break in. It's very advanced and complex, but somehow these villains did manage to intrude. So your efforts seem to have been pretty mediocre, but you know, I know it's all just for the story. But anyways, you can see another laser here, and this one you actually have to deflect the laser straight back at the cannon here to blow it up. I guess there's also a gold object there. You can probably deflect the laser at that, but that is collectible related, so we'll be coming back in free play. Which, by the way, we're not close to the free play yet, but we are actually a third of the way done. After this level, we'll be a third of the way done officially. Also, speaking of this level, speaking of after this level, the next video we're actually going to do for LEGO Marvel Superheroes is not going to be level 6 story. In fact, it is going to be the 2x stud multiply red brick. We've kind of been talking about it a little bit the past couple levels, but basically, once we hit 1,000,000 studs, we can purchase the 2x stud multiply red brick, which is just going to speed up stud collecting, because it literally just doubles every stud, which is very amazing. So yeah, we'll have that for the rest of the store. And also you can see that True Believer. Again, 145,000 I think for that. So that's cool. And yeah, I mean the True Believers are pretty like pretty easy unless you aren't taking out enemies and building up your score multiplier, but just use Iron Man's rockets and you're like guaranteed to do it. Like those blue studs we just picked up there were worth 10,000 a pop. Like that's just unbelievable. I mean, we went from 145,000, we just got the Jubilee straight up to 200,000 in like 10 seconds. So like, yeah, just what I'd recommend is if you see a room with like a bunch of blue studs and stuff, but there's a lot of enemies, take out all the enemies, build up your multiplier, and then grab the blue studs. Then it's just going to be worth so much more, and that's what we want at the end of the day. But anyways, you'll notice there are 2 of the Captain America switches either side of the back wall, so we're just going to throw our shield into each of those, and then these lasers are going to shoot out. But you'll notice the second one here doesn't deflect straight onto the panel like the other one did. So instead, we have to deflect it into the little panel there, or the whatever it's called, I guess the generator? Yeah, generator's fair enough. Then the power seems to go out, but then it reboots, and that is the system rebooted, so that is the rebooted part. But now we have to resuit. And apparently Iron Man, or I guess Tony, manufactured a new Iron Man armor, and that's the one we're going to use here. So Captain America will not suffice. You actually have to step up to the plate as Iron Man. And, I mean, just look at this. This is just, feast your eyes on this absolute, just insanity. I mean, that is so cool. They did not need to do all that. They could have just switched the suit like they did with that first suit earlier in the level. But this, they were like, all the pieces come flying in, which is obviously a reference to Iron Man 3, if you don't know. When Tony sent the suit onto Aldrich Killian, it like, all the pieces went flying into it. But anyways, carve that gold wall out. Then we're going to hop in this elevator, and that's actually going to take us into another console.
Arc reactor storage access granted.
Loki, stand down!
My insincerest apologies, but I need a source of high power at low cost.
Well, you are stealing from the best.
That's not the only thing we've stolen.
Where are you going?
Never trust a demigod.
Well, so far, I'd say this level has been pretty tame, but now it's going to get a little bit more hectic. We have a lot of enemies to take out on this roof. In fact, coming up, I think we have to take out 25 total enemies. But anyways, for now, what we got here, this is a very repetitive boss battle. And this is something I will say. I did like in the last level with the Abomination, that battle at the end of the level was not actually too repetitive. But some of these battles are repetitive. I'd say Sandman wasn't repetitive, and Abomination wasn't repetitive, but Dr. Octopus was repetitive. Venom actually wasn't repetitive. That also wasn't too long either. But yeah, this one, just, all you've got to do is, so there's Aldrich Killian, and then there's the Mandarin. That's the dude who just teleported in before and mind controlled you. That's the Mandarin. That's the real Mandarin. That's the Mandarin that everybody should love. Not the actor who pretended to be a terrorist in Iron Man 3. I mean, there was literally no reason for that to have been the plot. Like, there was no reason at all. Like, it was dumb. But yeah, you can see that. That's the Mandarin, and they just teleport to it. He can't do that in Iron Man 3, let me tell you. Oh, man. A lot, the things I have to say about some of the MCU films, gosh, well, yeah, I mean, there is Lego Marvel's Avengers. That covers a couple of the MCU films. In fact, it covers Iron Man 3. It has a whole level for it. That was a good level, though. Like, they did it well. This obviously isn't based off the level. It just includes some characters from the movie. Which I think I kind of like a little bit. Like, each level has kind of like a different set of enemies. Like, I feel like here we're getting some Iron Man villains and we're in Stark Tower. Like, it makes sense, right? Like, yeah, like, that makes a lot of sense. And we'll see that later on with some of the other levels. Like, there's a Thor level coming up, which I think is level 7. So, but we'll get to that. Anyways, what we did was, basically, to start the boss battle, all you had to do was take out a wave of enemies until the Mandarin spawned in, and he's going to mind control you. So then what you have to do is switch to your other character, hit the Mandarin, then Aldrich Killian is going to spawn in, and you've just got to damage him. You do that 3 times, and then that's going to defeat Aldrich Killian. But then the Mandarin here, he's going to actually jump into the Hulkbuster armor, which I've played LEGO Marvel's Avengers, and I've watched Avengers Age of Ultron, and let me tell you, this Hulkbuster is not nearly as impressive as the one in that movie, let me tell you. And if I ever cover LEGO Marvel's Avengers, which I probably will, it's a very fun game, and if enough people want to see it, or you know, if we do end up doing it, we'll obviously see that Hulkbuster. But yeah, anyways, it's a lot bigger in that game and in that movie than here. Like, this is just like the same size as Hulk was, you know, but the Hulkbuster in LEGO Avengers is like twice or 3 times the size of Hulk. So that's really cool. But anyways, what we have to do there, that's, as I said before, we did have to take out a wave of 25 enemies. Then we can actually start to damage the Hulkbuster. And what we're going to do at the start is we're just going to throw our shield up at him with Cap. I'm sure you could blast him with Iron Man's rockets. But then you'll think, oh man, that's really slow. But then House Party Protocol, as it's called, is activated, where like just a dozen Iron Man armors just come flying in, and they just start blasting the Hulkbuster, and he is firing back as well to take out the armors. And what you'll notice is some parts are starting to drop in the arena, and we'll get to that in a second. But what you got to do is just fly up in the air and just start blasting the Hulkbuster along with these other armors. And then eventually here, once his health bar is pretty much fully depleted, you'll notice the parts on the ground here start to bounce around. So that's when we're going to switch to Captain America any second here. Gosh, could this take any longer? Eventually here, there you go, you can see the parts are bouncing around, so we'll switch to Cap, we'll build him up. I mean, you could build him up as Iron Man, but afterwards you will need to switch to Cap to throw his shield into the generator. And then that is actually going to basically just power down the Hulkbuster. After the generator just does this massive shockwave blast, and then the Hulkbuster starts like getting all squirrely. So what you've got to do is use Iron Man. You'll notice a little gold patch on the back of the Hulkbuster. So aim your laser just right, find that right angle, melt it down, and that's going to take us to the final cutscene. Right.
So, like my suit?
I have a soft spot for the oldies.
Why is it my tower can never stay in one piece?
Well, there we have it. Rebooted, Resuited, level complete, and free play is indeed unlocked. You can see there we did get Mark 1 Iron Man and Mark 42 Iron Man, so that's going to be a really good Iron Man coming up. But you did also notice we got the achievement there for completing the level. We also unlocked Tony Stark just on his own, and also Mandarin and Aldrich Killian, which makes sense because they were the villains of the level. But you can see here, glorious, look at that, 1 million, in fact 1.15 million. We truly did outdo ourselves there. But yeah, so again, as I said, the next video will be us purchasing 2x multiplier, and that's going to basically just be a video showing you how to purchase the red bricks, like where to go kind of thing. But anyways, True Believer we did get. So far I think we are 5 for 5 with the True Believers. We now have 10 gold bricks, so we're in the double digits there. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to go ahead and do it for me for this one. That was level number 5, Rebooted, Resuited, Story Mode. We got through the level, had a dandy time, and yeah, we got through it, had a lot of fun. But yeah, folks, that is going to do it for me. If you did enjoy this one, do feel free to subscribe, comment, anything. If you want to say something about Twitter, feel free. If you want to check it out, do feel free as well. Don't know when I'll do a stream. I did do one like the other night, but it was, if you check it out, it was like 9.5 hours. I basically just played through LEGO Marvel's Avengers. I was trying to play the whole game, and then I kind of by the end I got really tired, and then I stopped because I'd been playing it for like 9.5 hours. Even though I was pretty close to done-ish, I still had like a couple hours, and I'm like, I could not do this right now. But yes, anyways, we are going to do some speedrunning stuff is kind of the main focus I want to do, because I've been interested in that for a while. So I'm like, we'll check it out. We're doing some guide stuff. We might kind of do some speedrunning stuff as well. But guides are not going to stop. They're not going to slow down either. They're going to keep on rolling. And I know the upload schedule for these videos has been non-existent, and it's been non-existent, I know. But we're trying to get these videos out. We've got to get through the story, and then we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the series, the free play and the free roam. But anyways, folks, that's going to do it for me for this one. Till the next one, I'll see all of you later. See everybody.